The Miss Universe pageant is supposed to be a dazzling celebration of beauty, intelligence, and grace. But this year, the 2025 competition in Bangkok, Thailand, will be remembered for something entirely different: chaos, controversy, and a series of shocking scandals that have rocked the organization to its very core. What was meant to be a night of glamour and triumph spiraled into a spectacle of accusations, resignations, and global public outcry. Today, we're going deep behind the scenes to unravel the drama that has everyone talking. What really happened at Miss Universe 2025? Let's find out. The night ended with Miss Mexico being crowned the new Miss Universe, a moment that should have been pure joy. But instead, it was tainted by whispers that quickly turned into shouts of foul play. The controversy exploded just moments after the winner's name was announced. Allegations began to fly, suggesting that the results were not entirely fair. Fans online were quick to point out what they saw as major inconsistencies, and soon, the discontent wasn't just coming from the audience. It was coming from inside the organization itself. The first major shockwave hit when several high-profile judges publicly resigned. And this wasn't a quiet departure. It was a loud, defiant protest. One of the first to walk was a renowned fashion designer and a veteran of pageant judging. In a statement posted online, he declared that he could no longer be part of a process he felt was compromised. He spoke of undue influence and pressures that made it impossible for him to judge fairly. And he wasn't alone. Soon after, another judge, a celebrated actress, also announced her resignation. She cited similar concerns and expressed her deep disappointment with the organization's lack of transparency. Their dramatic walkout sent the internet into an absolute frenzy. The hashtag Miss Universe scandal started trending worldwide. People wanted answers. How could so many judges quit at once? This unprecedented move suggested that the problems ran deep. The judges who resigned weren't just making vague complaints, they were hinting at a systemic issue. They claimed that their scores and deliberations were not fully respected, and that there was a clear preference for certain contestants from the very beginning. One judge even went on a live broadcast explaining that their final scores seemed to have been completely ignored in favor of a predetermined outcome. As the judges' explosive testimonies went public, the focus shifted to the Miss Universe organization itself. Accusations of favoritism and even financial motivations began to circulate. Some reports suggested that certain national directors and powerful sponsors had an outsized influence on the competition, pushing their candidates forward regardless of their actual performance. The organization was suddenly under a microscope, with its integrity being questioned on a global stage. The dream of winning the crown now seemed less about merit and more about politics and shady backroom deals. Amidst the growing turmoil, the Miss Universe organization issued an initial statement. They acknowledged the resignations but staunchly defended the integrity of their judging process. They stated that the final results were verified by an independent auditing firm and that all procedures were followed correctly. However, this statement did very little to calm the public's suspicion. For many, it felt like a generic corporate response that completely failed to address the specific, serious allegations made by the judges. The public demanded more than just a denial. They wanted a full, transparent investigation. This controversy also took a heavy personal toll on the contestants. While Miss Mexico celebrated her victory, her win was completely overshadowed by the drama. She faced a barrage of online negativity, with many people unfairly blaming her for the alleged rigging. In her first press conference as Miss Universe, she tearfully addressed the situation, saying her dream had been tarnished by the controversy and that she had competed with all her heart. Other contestants also spoke out. Some defended the results, while others expressed their own frustrations, sharing stories of feeling overlooked or unfairly scored during the preliminary rounds. The sisterhood, which is so often touted as a core value of the pageant, appeared to be fractured and broken. As the days went on, more details emerged. Leaked messages and insider sources painted a picture of a chaotic and toxic backstage environment. There were reports of intense arguments between pageant officials and judges. Some sources even claimed that the judges were given new scoring instructions midway through the competition, creating massive confusion and frustration. The pressure was immense, not just on the contestants, but on everyone involved in the production. The glamorous facade of Miss Universe was crumbling, revealing a much messier reality. In response to the relentless pressure and the very real risk of losing sponsors and public trust, the Miss Universe organization finally announced it would launch a comprehensive internal review. They promised to investigate the judges' claims and reevaluate their entire scoring and adjudication process to ensure fairness and transparency in future pageants. They also extended an apology to the fans, the contestants, and the judges who felt their trust had been broken. It was a step towards accountability, but for many, the damage was already done. So, what does this mean for the future of Miss Universe? This scandal has raised fundamental questions about the relevance and fairness of beauty pageants in the modern era. Can an event of this scale ever be truly free from influence in politics? The organization now faces a monumental task, rebuilding its reputation from the ground up. They must prove that their commitment to transparency is genuine and not just a PR move to handle bad press. The next pageant will be under intense scrutiny, with everyone watching to see if real changes have been made. The Miss Universe 2025 saga is a cautionary tale about what can happen when glamour clashes with integrity. It's a story of broken trust, shattered dreams, and a fight for justice that has captured the world's attention. While Miss Mexico wears the crown, the true winner of this year's pageant might just be the call for accountability that is echoed across the globe. Only time will tell if the Miss Universe organization can learn from this disastrous chapter and restore faith in the crown. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Do you think pageants can ever be truly fair? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that matter.